Frieza, Frost. Don't think we don't think we don't think that little scene between the two of you didn't go unnoticed by me. I saw what was happening there a mile away. Okay, so Death Knight of Anime here, bringing you guys my review for Dragon Ball Super episode 96. And pretty much to start off this episode, I'll start off by saying we learned that in this episode that the arena is made of the same material that Gohan broke the Z Sword on. I think it was the Kachi Kachin is what they call it. And in a way, it makes sense in order to use that type of material because, hey, there's going to be there's going to be like there's going to be at least two or three dozen or more motherfuckers on this stage who are going to just be ripped, be going at each other's throats in order for the title of the strongest in order to save their universes. So I guess it makes sense to use that material because hey, there's going to be a lot of blasts, a lot of firefights. So yeah, this one. Also, I really like that scene where we see Ewin, Arak, and Lakir going at it. That shit was hype. But I think like not to say we didn't need this before, but I think it reaffirms that the Gods of Destruction they ain't nothing to fuck with because when we see those three going in, yeah, they're just going at each other like blasting the whole damn arena. And the thing about it is, it's if this is if that's what and the thing about it is when they're going at it, they basically destroyed the arena pretty much. They destroyed the arena pretty much, like or parts of the arena. So like if that's what it's a good thing that this wasn't a it's a good thing this wasn't a tournament of all 12 Gods of Destruction themselves going at it because if all 12 Gods of Destruction went at it in this tournament, holy shit that arena wouldn't even be there anymore. Like yeah, um. But the thing about that is too is that it really makes me wonder where Beerus is on the scales in comparison to his God of Destruction peers because taking into account his constant sleeping habits, I don't want to call him weak, but I do think he is one that's as much as I hate to say it, I do want to. I think Beerus, considering his sleeping habits, among other things, I want to say that Beerus might be a little bit that his universe's level strength level isn't the only thing that's low. I want to say Beerus himself might be a little weaker in compared to his peers as well, but I could be totally wrong. I don't know. I mean, but I'm just basing it off what we saw from just three of the other 11 gods of destruction at this point. So yeah. Also, Grand Peace telling them to fix after Lakir, Arak, and Ewan basically went at it and they destroyed parts of the stadium. I like how the Grand Peace was just telling them to fix the broken parts themselves because broken parts of the arena themselves because it's funny in the sense where it's like a parent dealing with rambunctious kids and telling them, "Hey, you kids made this mess. You got to clean it up yourself." It's really funny in that sense. Um, and and I guess I'll get to the big thing to talk about: Frieza and Frost in this episode. Like Frieza and Frost are as we see in this episode, we see Frieza and Frost kind of like meeting in a corner in secret, plotting something together. And more than likely, Frieza's trying to strike the similar deal with Frost that he tried to make with Universe 9. Like, he's going to betray Universe 7 and migrate to pretty much another universe or another planet or another universe or something just to save his own skin. But I also think another portion, basically going back in order to what Frieza was thinking, and I think it was the previous episode about how he warned Beerus about getting too high on his horse and to be prepared. I think what Frieza has planned is that he wants to. Another portion of Frieza's plan, I think, what he's planning is that he wants to kill the gods of destruction, or at the very least, Beerus, out of some self-centered goal to be considered truly the most powerful being in the universe. Because if you even though Frieza's father warned him, not in order that it was wrong that it was a bad idea to go up against Boo, and to go up against Beerus, I truly think that in a way that in a way, he has gotten to a point strength wise where he probably feels confident enough that he can take at least Beerus on, or maybe even and maybe even cook when cooking up a plan with Frost. I think he feels that yes, now he has the power in order to in order to take on the gods of destruction, or at the very least, or like I said, at the very least, Beerus. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if he's just doing all this shit in order to be considered, in order to at the end of the day be uh, officially name himself the most powerful being in the universe, because we have to remember, this is Frieza. The man is basically concerned with only one thing, which is himself and how powerful he is, or how powerful he wants to be perceived as. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Frieza at the end of the day is just planning to is if Frieza's main goal is just to be truly be the most powerful being in the universe. Anyway, getting off of that, let's talk about a couple of the teams we got introduced here. First off, Goku greeting the Pride Troopers. Okay, Goku. Seriously, the Goku going to greet the Pride Troopers, that had me shaking my head, because it was like I was screaming at the screen like, seriously, Goku, what concept of they hate you don't you understand that? Don't you understand? Now, granted, I do like how that whole interaction, it did give us a taste of Jiren's power, because if that intro and that little taste of Jiren's power that we got here is any indication, if those two things are any indication, now we are headed for some pretty hype shit, I believe, coming up. Like the whole thing with like the whole Goku Jiren fight. I know that's going to be a staple staple hype moment in this tournament, and from what we've seen, I don't think it's going to be a disappointing fight at all. I think it's going to be pretty hype. Although I would argue that me personally, I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward pretty much more. I'm looking for, I guess more towards whoever's going to end up fighting. I think it's Kale and Kale and call Ifla. I'm looking forward toward whoever is going to end up facing those two particular Saiyans. Honestly, like the Saiyans in the Universe 6 team are the highlight for me. Like I am hyped to see the Jin and Goku fight, but I want to see who's going to fight the Saiyans of Universe 6. Honestly, like yeah, I'm just hyped to see that. Honestly, um, but yeah, and I guess and the thing about and I mean and I guess the thing about the Tribe Troopers too is like I I understand where they're coming from. I do, but I think at this point, I think they just need to get just bury their feelings and get the fuck over it. Because at the end of the day, I think Zeno was gonna end up. Zeno said it himself. He was gonna probably end up destroying you guys anyway. At least here you have a fighting chance. But yeah, I guess it can help that I think they are kind of dealing with that themselves too. But yeah, but now that we've covered Universe 2, let's talk about. There are a couple of notes I want to talk about some of these other universes, honestly. Okay, Universe 2. So they apparently have a yard rat on the team. So I'm curious how that would work in their battle strategy. Like in terms of the battle strategy of how that particular how that particular type of fighter could work is, I imagine he'd teleport his comrades across the battlefield, which would in essence make it completely hopeless or harder for anyone to even land a solid hit on his team, because we can't remember from what we know of the original Dragon Ball Z, the whole race of the people of Yardrat is in fact that they have the power to use instant transmission or teleportation from what we know. So yeah, their whole ability to use teleportation is like probably going to be a key factor in whatever strategy they come up with. Um, and Universe 4. Now, from what we know, they said they only had eight fighters on their team, eight, but there's supposedly a hidden ninth fighter. Honestly, if that's not if that's not a clue to the whole invisibility thing, I don't know what is, because yeah, I, 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 I think it was Tien himself who even said, "Hey, I can sense there may be 8 there, but I can sense someone's presence." So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it is an invisible if it is a fighter who can turn invisible or something like that. And if that's the case, yeah, the whole teleportation thing of a yard rat is scary enough, but an invisible fighter, yeah, like I know we got an Invisible Man in the original Dragon Ball series, so if that is the case, it is going to be a nice throwback. But I hope this Invisible Fighter is a little bit more threatening than the Invisible Man in Dragon Ball. I'm just saying. But yeah. Also, Universe 6. Okay, I need to address something to both Universe 6 and goddamn Champa. Okay, you got the fighter, you got the Saiyans. You end up getting hit. You got Frost, and you got the robot guy. Okay, fine enough. Why the fuck though did you need to have Botamo on that team? Why did you need that roly-poly Winnie the Pooh motherfucker? Seriously, he is a crusty piece of shit. Did the tournament with Universe 7 not teach you? Did the tournament between you and Beerus not prove anything, Champa, at all? Like, seriously, did you need that motherfucker on the team? He is going to get destroyed. Like, okay, mini rant over, but seriously, why did they need fucking Botamo? It's. Yeah. Okay, moving on to Universe 10. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I still can't take these fuckers seriously, and to be honest, it got even worse when that pretty boy with the rose appeared as one of the fighters. I'm sorry, like, how can I take you motherfuckers seriously when you don't even look like a total threat? I'm desperately hoping and holding out that this is going to be one of those times where it's just like where the whole appearances can be deceiving thing, and that these guys are a lot stronger than they actually appear to be. I'm desperately holding on to that because, like, I guess the whole thing with the whole thing in terms of Junior 6 and having Botao on the team is one thing, but an entire team of crust fucks, yeah, that's gonna be rant material right there for many, I'm sure. Um, Also, one last thing I want to say, honestly, like I say this for the last thing, but Yamcha, we actually got a very nice moment with him. It's a fucking anime miracle. Like when Yamcha appeared in that brief moment where he looked like he was a little sad that he wasn't picked for the team. He just said, "You know what? It's cool. The whole universe is on." He said basically, "It's cool. The whole universe is on the line, so I can deal with it. I'd rather trust on my faith to them rather than me being on the team." So, you know what? I gotta give Yamcha points. He does still have his crusty moments, but honestly, at least he had that one moment in all of Dragon Ball Super. Like he may have had a lot of crusty moments in Dragon Ball Super, but at least he had that one good moment that I can say he had in Dragon Ball Super. And yeah, it was a very nice and genuine moment where he accepted his limitations. Said, you know what, fuck it, I'm not strong enough for this tournament. I'll leave it up to the other guys. Although I guess that does kind of bring into question as to why they would choose as to why they would keep Tien on the team. I mean, I guess this Tien. The difference is that Yamcha doesn't practice martial arts as much as Tien anymore. But yeah, but yeah. Anyway, guys, yeah, that's my review for Dragon Ball Super episode 96. A really great episode, a lot of great introductions, and okay, the tournament didn't start this week, but looks like it's gonna go all out next week. It's gonna be a total battle royale. But and I'm excited for it. It's finally here, guys. The Universe Survival Tournament. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Death Knight of Anime, signing off. Later, peeps. Bye.